Hell, just go live right now. But the problem is now, if I really want to multi-stream, it won't be just Twitch and YouTube. By the way, hello everyone on YouTube. Now we're opening up TikTok. Live studio, brother. Ah, man. Sometimes I think YouTube gives zero crap about like their content creators. You know, you're not wrong. I think you can see that across like other platforms too. You feel like sometimes, especially if you like pay attention to a lot of the news out there, especially when it comes to streamers like a la like TwitchCon this year, they feel like there should be more attention being paid towards those that could use the extra help, the extra safety, and you don't feel like they're given like the appropriate needs and attention given, and that's just kind of, it's almost kind of part of the territory, and that's putting it like in a not the most optimistic like view of things. I think when it comes down to it, you just have to like really look out for yourself in that case. All right, I got a couple things here. We're almost done, and then we can actually sit down and talk about this. I apologize for those on the YouTube side of things. I just did it. I was initially gonna be like, nah, let's not do the New Year's resolution thing on the other channels because it's just like it's so much work, and I don't know if anyone's gonna tune into this. And then I looked at my little preview, and I remembered what it meant. It showed like one end of it is like the Twitch colors. I can say Twitch and YouTube right now until Discord goes or TikTok goes live. I have the Twitch side here, you can see by the coloration, and then the YouTube side for coloration. I'm like, shh, oh my god, it's just staring me in the face. It's like Anakin like saying, liar! You might hear a little bit of notifications because Live Studio just likes to do that. Alright, and then I will do the same thing here. 2025 goals here. Yeah, this is weird because is there like a chatting? I guess just live, right? Gaming live, but it's also like we're not really playing games per se. We're just kind of talking about life. Yeah, it should be fine. It's like, yeah, I like video games, so yeah, let's just do it. All right, and then I have to, sorry y'all, gotta start a virtual cam. That should do just fine. And yeah, go live. And going forward, guys, I can only say like red and purple platforms respectively. So just FYI on that one. Okay. All right. Finally, everyone's here. And again, the funny thing is that I wasn't even going to plan on multi-streaming. I was just going to keep it all over to the purple platform. But I was like, I'm looking at both sides, and I'm like, and I was like, oh, I gotta do it. I said I would do this going forward. But hi everybody, welcome in. To give you the quickest thing of what we're talking about today, the focus on today's stream is, or tonight's stream, wherever you're at, talking about New Year's resolutions. It's not like something that we really talk about like so openly. I think for a good number of us, we'll talk about these goals maybe in close confidence with like some friends, some family members. Maybe some actually celebrate and talk about it like across like platforms like this one, but also at the same time, you know, I don't do that as often. So here's to trying to do this going forward and making it like a habit in a way to kind of gray like how I'm doing in this case. But if you guys want to follow along and just try to like implement this, that'd be great as well. You don't have to. But yeah, guys, I actually have I have a notes app. Well, I mean, everyone has a notes app, but I have a separate note for New Year's resolutions. It's not perfect, it doesn't have everything in it, but I just have like so far kept like a record of the things, at least going back as far as 2018. Like, look at this, look at that. You can kind of see it, dude. It talks about Mixer. Who knows about Mixer? I feel like the TikTok crowd if I ask you guys, do you guys know Mixer as the live streaming app? Some of you will probably be like, I don't know. Like, are you talking about like when, you know, people go out and like, you know, mingle with like-minded people in order to make connections, amongst other things? I mean, no, but also kind of, yeah. Actually, Mixer was, huh? I mean, not wrong about that. Nah, Mixer was the other platform, and I guess we could talk about that since it's well, was it? It was just pretty much all of its like resources and everything was sold to like what, Facebook or something like that. By the way, we're not TikTok, please. We're not live over on that platform, so please don't like shadow ban me for that. But Mixer was originally Microsoft. Microsoft wanted to make an answer to the Purple platform, right? And Mixer had this really huge benefit to it in the sense that it had, what was it? Was it FTL? Like faster than light type of like, I guess, codexing, in the sense that latency was almost zero. So essentially, you know, we're kind of better off with it too. I think the Purple platform has definitely like kept latency as far as like me seeing like chat in response to be like really quick now. But in a while back, it used to be maybe a minute back in delay. But like Mixer was different. It was almost seamless. It was so quick, and I was really impressed with what they were able to do with that. On top of some other like cool integrated things I kind of like picked up along the way, but I never like really committed to memory. But as to say, I had this like, so for example, in 2018, I have written here that I will continue to work out to lose weight and muscle build. And I you know, for life of me, I couldn't even tell you where I was like on my journey there. But 2018 was a long time ago. Like, I mean, I still graduated and whatnot, but like, it was only like a few years into like actually working full time. But in the meantime, I was just doing all these other things. I was making like the YouTube video. Oh, I said the red platform videos. I can't believe I let that slip so easily. Anyway, talk about Mixer. They had like, I think, levels to them as far as, and they were trying to gamify it. But I said here I wanted to get like 100 like followers on, in addition to reaching level 120. I don't know what level means, but sure. But I also said I would make a channel trailer for the red platform. Not sure if it was a New Year's resolution, but I had done that, so there we go. I also said I'd move up in my career, probably want to decline for more work experience, or, oh, you know what? Shoot. Well, I did end up moving up, so that's a great thing, but I could not tell you where I was in 2018. I just remembered something in 2019. I'll talk about that in a little bit. 2019, I wanted to get 100 followers on Twitch, or Purple platform. Jesus God, if I'm going to lay out these plans, I should really follow them to the note. TikTok, please. I stream here regularly, right? I mean, I showed up today. I showed up today. So 100 followers on the Purple platform. There we go. And then I have a workout thing, which was like do 3 sets, 10 reps on the curling machine at like 110 pounds. Oh man, I was like, I guess I was going to the gym at that time, right? Oh, you wanted to grab some stacks? Would you miss? Oh, not much, John. I was kind of going over some old stuff because take a look here. I have notes, not everything, but it's from at least from 2018 and onwards, of just like goals I've like set up in the past, and I'm just kind of looking back at them and I'm like, oh wow, you guys know Mixer, the old streaming platform that is now gone and like went over and merged with like Facebook and everything because Microsoft was like, you know what, we can't do this. We can't do this. Imagine if they did. But yeah, I was talking about follower goals there. 2019 was like, I had some rep goals going on there. That was interesting, for sure. And then 2020, oh brother, I could not even tell you how 2020 would have like worked out if the idea was that I made this list in like 2019 December, and without any foresight of like the shutdowns and everything like that. So many platforms just gone for sure. But you know what? They definitely made a choice, and I always wonder what would happen if they did just kind of stick around. I mean, some still do, but some have like different priorities. Like Microsoft definitely had something else in mind instead of trying to like hold up a server for like live streaming content. Granted, I don't think anyone has still done it as like near instant as like Mixer has, as far as like the response time. It's still really good. Like I'm talking to you, John, right now, and it's pretty much seamless as far as I can tell. I mean, there's definitely gonna be a delay here and there, but it's like not the biggest deal. It's like a few second delay, not the biggest deal. It used to be like 40 seconds or something like that. So I mean, that's how fast technology has gone, you know, or how far. So in 2020, I said that I'd be able to run a 10-minute mile without stopping and do that weekly. I haven't really done 10-minute miles, but that'd be interesting to see what I could do. Maintain a regimen for like my body, for the gym. And it's a decade-inspired regimen. Well, I mean, we're halfway through, and I'm definitely not doing that. Oh, the spending goal! I had a spending goal. I figured that like, if I just like... Well, actually, this is... Oh, okay, spending versus a gambling goal. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So my spending goal is never to be over $500 like in a month, and it excludes like the 200s that I put into food with the family, because I live here with my folks, and that just keeps costs down like significantly. So I definitely like that idea. Oh, I was renting out the office space. Ooh, you know, I actually went behind my family's back about that one. I knew exactly how they would respond if I rented out an office space for like, you know, red platform, purple platform, like activities, streaming, like recording stuff, because we could kind of do it in this house, but like we only have like this room to record, and it gets really stuffy, it gets really hot in here. So I felt like to create a neutral place would be beneficial. I also got talked into it by my friend Gabe. I love the guy, but he also could be kind of manipulative now I think about it. Anyway, gambling goal. Crazy, right? I was like, what if I just put like just a little bit of money just to put away and just be able to just dump it in the form of gambling and make it so like at least like there's a chance I'm just like throwing my hat in there, in the offset that I might like go up in like in one of those and be able to walk away with something with it, you know? It was gonna be really strict. Like I would give myself maybe like $100 or something like that, right? And the moment I lose all of it, I walk out. Don't even try anything else for the rest of like that month or whatever. And I mean, maybe there'd be like an instance where like you'd get like an additional like couple $100 or something like that, because I would talk it to like my coworkers back then, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, I just went to the casino and I just got like $400." And I was like, "Huh?" So I guess that was my way of trying to like be part of that system and, you know, walk away with something with it. But I think if I only got lucky the one time and each consecutive time was a loss, then it would just kind of balance out. Rather, I'd probably lose more. So yeah, it's addicting. You been there? Yeah, I'm glad I decided like the only form of like gambling I have that's kind of a little more reliable is the market. So we're investing bros right now. But that was funny. Oh, a social media goal. That's always a fun one because I've yet to like really master this one. To post on all social media fronts at a certain frequency. So on Facebook, it would have been like weekends. Instagram would have been like weekly. Also, that's a streaming platform. So TikTok, please. I've been good. TikTok, I've been good. I'm here. I showed up. Twitter/X, semi-daily. I still haven't maybe I'm just not me. Social media goal. Maybe I'm just not cracked up for it. It's a really tough one. I really went out on 2020 as far as making some goals here. I have a and don't worry, we'll jump back into that into 2026. The Red platform's specific goal is to be more consistent with uploading or to start approaching filmmaking differently. Needing an edit and uploading schedule, that's still pretty relevant. Still really relevant. And I've been working on that. To some really good news, actually. My little Dang It Play series, games within the last decade, starting with 2020 or 2010. That's an interesting idea. I kind of like that idea. Why did I drop off of... Oh, because I don't do Dang It Plays anymore. Oops. I got a purple platform goal to stream more often. So yeah, I have scheduled things out. Schedule that does not get in the way of other duties. Not bad. Yeah, we actually have upkept that. There's a job goal. Stay at the top of reports and maintain that to get that 5% by April. You did it, man. You did it. Yeah, dog, if I could just like dap you up real quick from the past, I would. Anyway, social communication goal. Oh, that's actually something I want to really work on that. That's actually something I really want to work on, like, this upcoming year, and also just anytime. What was this? Social and communication goal with friends and strangers alike. To be more open to conversations and ask for more questions. I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit better off now, so good. A positivity goal. Oh, wow, I was really being inventive about this one. Become more optimistic in your methods of approach, especially when you're doing it for and by yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's still pretty important, especially stuff that went down this past year, so for sure. And then I really calmed down with the goals. I think, no, 2025 I was kind of cooking a little bit, was like what goals I had in mind, but 2021 I was like, I don't have any like red platform goals in mind, just to keep posting and just never lose that passion for content creation. I haven't. Oh boy, this is the purple platform goal. Reach partnership. This is the umpteenth year for Twitch affiliation, or I mean the purple affiliation. I know I got like a twitch in my like the back of my neck. It feels like something's been creeping up for a while, and I'm like, what's wrong? Affiliate's great over here. In 2022, I was like, did I even list anything here? No, dead ass. That's what I wrote in that little single line. I just like, did I write anything here? My bad. I was like, I think I did something. It might be somewhere else. But you know what? 2022, bygone year. Let's focus on the new stuff. Moving on to 2023, I maintained the niche and utilized shorts on the red platform. So I've been kind of doing that. I mean, I'm streaming right now to one of them, so not bad. Not bad. It's a separate channel from like the Dang It Productions one, but you know, still doing that. That's good. I don't have a goal for red platform, although I kind of like primed for me to write that down. I never did. But 2023, get medical and dental appointments sorted out. So good news on medical, bad news on dental. Let's move on. Post more on social media. So there it goes. It's there again. 2024, nothing was written here. Okay, so we're not really doing this like yearly, but we're trying that. We're trying that. Okay. Here we go, guys. We're finally here. So again, kind of revolving back to where we started. This live stream across all the different platforms right now is a way for me to reflect on things that have happened or like I've tried to establish for this year, 2025. It's been a crazy year. The biggest things I remember from it are the Nintendo Switch 2 happening. So that was a big thing for me. And that's it. That's it. No. Okay, so here we go. and it's really interesting because I have a lot of things to say about 2025 as far as like where my mindset was, like 2024 to 2025. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. So, money management. I want to have about like $580 in spending each month, and I believe I actually made a calculation for that one. And it was just because I was getting into investing like hardcore instead of doing like passively. I still was contributing towards something since 2019 when I was for sure working full time, I believe. Yeah, something like that. And that's because my dad actually had convinced myself and my brother to actually open up accounts. In addition to an IRA account, we also had like our own like I think sorry guys, I totally just blanked on what it was exactly. Just an individual account that you would find like, you know, like Robinhood or Fidelity. I don't think Robinhood was like a really big thing since 2019, but well, I mean, I think it was there, but like it's not as big as it is now. But yeah, just make an account on there, a brokerage account, sorry, and just start investing. And I didn't get it, but you know, I also had like that discipline where like if my dad told me to do this, I would just simply do it. So I mean, that worked out. So I was passively like investing just small amounts of money, while the rest of it just kind of sat in a checkings account. But going forward in 2025, I was like, oh shoot, well, I had this opportunity to, and that's actually a story within and of itself, that in January, I believe there was a pretty significant, maybe not significant, but like pretty impactful power outage. And it stopped me from working actually for a little bit. I was pretty much on standby for most of it, where I was like, can I work now? But like maybe I can't. So, you know, when I was talking to like my cousins in like December or November 2024, it was December. We were talking about like housing, people affording housing. I was one of the few, if not, yeah, I was kind of the only person like within that group that like still lives with their folks. And I had it ingrained in me to save enough money to like put a down payment on a house, and I would just start doing things from there. But I couldn't even like find something that was like nice enough, you know, like a house, not an apartment, a house. And it was like, well, dude, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, maybe I could, maybe before the housing market like went up, you know, but these are different times, and I had pretty much now followed this goal, and it's pretty much now where like I heavily invest into like the market, and just have that grow significantly so that I can retire early and then enjoy my life, stream a little bit more often, hang out with more friends, and that kind of thing. So that's why I have this money management goal where it's like, okay, so like I'm really trying to cut down on like cost of living, which is already low enough as it is, and then really trying to hyper like move whatever payments I get from work and put it into like my account. So that's kind of like what I've been doing this past year. But yeah, so it says here, high investment. I need to plan to exceed the amount with one purchase. What's going on? High investment. I need to plan to exceed that amount with one purchase. I think I might be talking about lump summing, which people do when it comes to, you know, things that pay out dividends and whatnot. So there's that. I'll follow up on that later. Posting more Tanuki videos. So we have a Tanuki Media account on the red platform. That's !Tanuki for those over on the purple platform. Everyone else, don't worry about it. Be more active on social media. So that means more videos on the TikTok and the red platform shorts, and even Instagram. Well, I can tell you that I haven't really done anything on Instagram, but I've done some stuff on the other ones. Maybe not as often. Ooh, this one's pretty big. Aim for 170 to 180 pounds. Build muscle from there. That was my weight goal, because I believe by the time of 2024, I was well into working out, so that was really good. April 2024 was like really big for me because that was the month where I was diagnosed as, one, pre-diabetic, and two, I was also as heavy as I was, which was at like 200 and 4 pounds. And it's not like I hated myself, but it was definitely one of those things where it's like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, I feel like I look a little bit bigger. I should really work out or something like that. And then they get hit with the double whammy of both. Like, one, I'm still gaining more weight, and two, I am now diagnosed as pre-diabetic. It's like, oh. So I locked in. And right now, I am around, last time I just weighed myself, it was like 193. The lowest I've gone was like 189, 187 maybe. So I'm kind of getting comfortable with like around that like range, and I don't think that's like too bad because I've also been like working out like with weights and everything like that. Whereas like the past year was just a lot of like heavy cardio. Maybe not heavy cardio, but just like enough, you know. So I don't know what I want to do with that. We'll revisit that as I kind of go through the rest of things here. Plan out the podcast and make clips. I've definitely been making clips on the podcast. So we're good. Uh-oh, I didn't do this. 2025, I also outlined month-to-month events, something exciting. I know for sure, and they're talking about like just content over on like the Purple platform, live streaming and whatnot. And I've entertained that idea, I guess, last year, but I never really truly incorporated that. Again, this is one of those things where I laid out the plan and I just never looked back on it. So yeah. Oh, you're gonna be happy about this one since I committed to it. Multi-stream on platforms. Didn't specify who or what, but be sure to do that. And we have definitely just done it today. I was really just gonna not do the red platform. I wasn't even gonna do TikTok, and I'm just gonna stick it to like my little comfort zone. But I looked at my the face cam, and I noticed the color variation. I was like, I did that. It's like the merging. It's kind of like Bandai Namco. Their whole logo was like a merger together before they then changed it to the one that they have now. But that's what I knew, but I had no idea that was like a whole collaboration type of thing. So there's special meaning to that. So I did it. Also, try to stream on time. That's really difficult. Also, trying to rate other streamers on the Purple platform, as that's part of the culture. Haven't been doing that. Sorry. Dental related appointments need to be addressed and scheduled. I am really terrible at that. I don't know why it's dental. I locked in for my my doctor's stuff, but it's for a different reason. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, contacts. See if I still want more of that. So I'm still kind of thinking about that. But I think I ultimately would be like, nah. Just FYI for everybody who doesn't know, I do wear glasses, and I don't want to put them on because of like my oily face will just like get on the sides here. I just dropped the case. But I do have like glasses and everything like that, and I use them primarily to drive and also just to see outside, especially when it gets dark, because my vision sucks at night. Not enough light to even like register most things. I mean, that's kind of normal, but yeah. Also, how did I? Sorry, I'm just like, let me fold this real quick. But yeah, I was also thinking about contacts because, like, you know, sometimes I don't know. I've always used to identify myself as someone who doesn't wear glasses. I mean, come on. I mean, if you've not worn glasses as long as I have, even when you've been prescribed them, I just don't. It's not that I didn't think they were cool or anything like that. It was just something where I felt a little bit prideful, I guess, of being able to see what I can see and just fearing like the deterioration of my vision over time just by wearing glasses. I had this idea that if I just kept doing that, I mean, maybe it's true, but now the difference is I don't care anymore. But I don't know, guys. I thought about contacts, and I think my issue now is just that, like, as cool as they kind of are and useful, and I don't have that type of trouble like putting something in my eyeball now, but it's just like, uh, it'd be a pain to just kind of deal with, contacts, especially on month to month like cost basis. Daryl, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Talk about New Year's resolution stuff. You need some advice? Well, I'll see what I can do. No promises on like how well of an effective like advice I can give. I'm just going through everything. And last 2025 thing I had, more stream clips. So yeah. I mean, I've kind of been doing that as far as like putting on the purple platform. It's just kind of hard to put them on the respective platforms, Maybe incorporate them. All right. So this is gonna be the interesting thing. Now that I went over my 2025 clips and I just kind of like taking some moments to like think about it, I think it's gonna be time to also Meme, thank you for liking the stream. I think it's time to like start like hashing out things. And yeah, I mean, this is totally meant for us to do it all together. Whether you guys are just listening along or you guys actually want to be like encouraged to make your own type of listings, and I'll totally be willing to like take a listen to those as well. Oh shoot, we're talking about car stuff. Uh-oh, what's going on? So Daryl's over here. Uh-oh. Hang on. Breathe, TikTok, breathe. Also, Beam, thank you for the follow. I'm like, breathe, darn you. You saved my life. Thanks, Larry. Okay, so what's going on? So, my son has this nice car he just got. Spent a lot of money on it. Okay. I thought it looked nice, and I thought it could be a fun time to just take it out for a spin. My son told me to not even touch it, or he will tell my wife I've been unfaithful, which I have. I don't think he would know I took it out, but I scrapped the entire sign on the light post. Oh my god. Oh no. Father, I have sinned. But not as much as I. Sorry about that. Okay. And I didn't think you would know. I took it out, scrapped it on the side like of light post. The side mirror is gone. I don't know what to do. You gotta own up to it. Allow me the one F-bomb here. But like, I fucked up. I dropped the ball. You set a boundary, and as your father figure, I literally just stepped over like I would, like just running into your room. What was the Fairly Odd Parents like quote where it's like, while I respect your privacy by knocking, but I'm asserting my authority as your father by coming in anyway. My wife will want to remove me. That's tough. Well, okay, so I am definitely not the person about relationship stuff. Thankfully, this isn't that, because I am just the single guy living at the folks' home, and the only thing I've ever done against anyone's back is to literally like rent out an office space. It still worked out, but it was one of those things where like my folks had like finally like come up to me and said like, "Hey, what's going on? I've been literally leaving the house like almost every day around a certain time at night, and you just come back. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're selling drugs or something like that?" Like, oh my god, why do you think I would be the one to do that? Like, come on. But I'm renting out an office space. And as per usual, I would imagine that's how they reacted. Yeah, it is what it is. Should I remove my wife first? Wait a minute. Like, that's... Hold on. Like, the issue is, like, I mean, do you still love that family? Or is it just something where it's like you're working towards maintaining that relationship because that's the best way around things, you know? Because it sounds like you're unfaithful because you completely have lost everything, like, with her, right? Because I think you should just be like open about things. I mean, it really sucks. It sucks that you were unfaithful. And it's like, well, I mean, you did what you did. But also, like, maybe it doesn't even have to come down to that, you know? Just first of all, like, just own up to your mistakes and focus on, like, paying up the son, if anything, on any damages, because, you know, if your son's the adult here, he had every right to say, no, you can't ride into that. You can't even touch that car. And, like, you just, like, at that point, it's like, you either assert your authority as, like, yeah, well, but the problem is he had leverage, didn't he? Yeah, that's the problem. He had leverage. So, I mean, it might even be for the best. I know that I wouldn't want, like, divorces to happen like that, but, like, if it just works out for everybody, then I guess it might be better off. I mean, like, if that's your only kid, then, you know, it could be much worse if, like, that kid was, like, much younger and still relied on, like, his folks and everything like that. But it's like, you know, he told me I am nothing without her, which is true to some extent. And my son has temper issues. Well, I would like to say you did your best with your son. And, you know, when it comes to, I mean, like, we're now talking about relationships, and I am, like, the furthest person to talk about this kind of stuff, but you should definitely, like, evaluate yourself with your own merits. That though the two of you work together as a team to raise somebody, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, that's the end of the road for either of you, you know? Even if you find yourself in a spot where you don't feel like you're enough, that's not necessarily true. I mean, a lot of what makes us who we are is, sure, there's, like, our heritage and the actions we've done in the past, but shaping what we can do forward to make us, like, give us a new identity, I think that's still, like, something. What I'm trying to say is that, like, that's really harsh to say. And the only reason that you agree to that is because you don't see, like, the better version of yourself in that regard. So, I mean, that is to say, you know, I don't know. He's 28 and lives with me. I provide him with everything. Well, that's kind of rough. I mean, if you two have, like, a pretty chill relationship, then, like, I guess that's okay. Stick together, but you also have to, like, own up to responsibility, like, on his end. And maybe it doesn't even have to come down to it, because it's like, I mean, granted, you said your son has temper problems, and at that age, yeah, they're gonna probably try to, like, not be like that. But at that point, you just have to follow by example in that regard. That's beside the point. Just be honest. That's the best thing I can ever, like, provide to anyone. Just be honest with yourself. It's also maddening that you actually got into an accident, like, the immediate thing. It's kind of like that episode of SpongeBob where, like, they do the hook thing. They play hooky, and they do it a couple times and they get away with it. And SpongeBob does it the one more time before he's like, okay, now I can go abstinence, and he gets hooked. You did buy the card in the first place. Oh, okay. That's not, I mean, okay, you guys have, like, a different dynamic relationship, and I saw, apologies to everybody, we're just kind of talking over on the Red Platform chat. Yeah, so, I mean, in that, like, at that point, it's like, it's your responsibility. You should try to pay for some repairs here and there if you can. Otherwise, you might have to buy him, like, the whole car. Just own up to it, like, hey, man, I dropped the ball. And you're right, I shouldn't have, like, really touched that. But well, the problem is, like, you did buy it, so it's like, but in this case, the leverage isn't the fact that you bought the car so you can do whatever you want. It's the fact that, like, that car is also your responsibility, and you messed up, and now it's, like, unfortunately, like, falls on both of y'all. And there's not a lot I can do aside from just trying to pay it, like, back here and there, get a repair going for this one. This is the best I can really do. Otherwise, I deeply apologize for doing that. That's a major inconvenience for both you and I. So yeah, that's all I can really say. Okay, if there's anything else, guys, I can give you a minute of like any insight that I got. My personal thing is try not to get in trouble. It's the best I got. I mean, when I was younger, I would definitely just try to like get in trouble. I mean, not get in trouble, just simply like walk outside the boundaries of like my folks and like their like guarded rules. Granted, I think in comparison to anybody else, I probably have like the least in like offenses as far as like the things I do. The only thing that I really have done like behind my folks' back, which was kind of like monumental, was probably just the Office Space. Just doing this Office Space thing without them knowing for like, it wasn't even like a full year. It was like half a year, and then they like caught on to it. I mean, who else? Who could? Who wouldn't? Because like, because your son literally just like goes out every night. He stays inside and plays video games. I mean, I do too. But yeah, I mean, I do too, but I also work. I don't have nearly enough time to play video games, even though I could totally be playing video games now, but I want to just do this special thing regardless. Tough to say. But here's the thing, guys, and I think this also is really important, like when it comes to like establishing these New Year goals. Is it's one thing to like say things, to put them like down on paper, but it's also another thing to actually, you know, do something about it. So what I will do for the next remainder of our time is start writing down some stuff down and maybe start organizing things. I like the money management goal, or a money goal of sorts. So I have been doing a lot. Also, yeah, I was gonna say hate is such a strong word too. I hope I can go through my life and not like hate anybody except for cancer. I can hate the hell out of cancer. Okay, so money goal. So I'm not sure if anybody feels this way about like how they deal with finances. Some people just spend their money like willy-nilly, and you know, some people have to spend the money because they kind of have to. Food, maybe car stuff, you know, maybe a much needed vacation, because that, yeah, we kind of could use a vacation, but for me, it was a totally different thing. Well, maybe not totally different for some people. I have adopted a goal of trying to retire early. See, I've been working full time for like now a decade, and God, a decade, dude. You know, I felt nowhere near much like this amount, but it was in 2021-ish. Yeah, something like that. We were on a cousin trip. It was one of the first cousin trips we ever went on, because we wanted to make that a yearly thing that we reconnect with everybody, because everyone's busy. And I was thinking back on just like random things, and on that road trip, as we were driving to the location, I just realized that, like, oh my God, has it been a whole decade since I was like 21 or something like that? And or like 18. That was a life crisis right there. That was like the closest thing to a midlife crisis I ever had. I was like, it's been like 10 years. Help me. 10 years since I've been 18. Oh God. But anyway, the goal in mind for money is that I would like to retire as early as possible, because I've been working for a decade, and I mean, I don't hate my job. I actually do like it quite a bit, and I must kind of get back into the habit of just being grateful enough just to have it, to be honest, because it was something like almost of a stroke of luck, to be honest. I was actually not too certain about myself when getting out of undergrad. I didn't know what would... if I had like a place as far as like working, because this guy right here failed Amazon testing. You realize how bad that actually is? When I feel like the angel of like out of a friend group of other Amazon workers. Like I'm like, I feel like I'd be part of like I'd be part of the team. I feel like I would do well and put a lot more focus on like helping people out or just working for, you know, the company, having their best interests in mind. And I failed the exam. They didn't even I mean, I could have like probed them with more questions about like what did I get wrong exactly, but I was like, I just did the questionnaire and everything. Like, did I how bad was it? I guess I'll never know. I guess what I could do is try to like reapply again, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Oh, can you imagine if I got a second job? I mean, I guess that would help out a little bit, as money-wise, but I mean, I'd also be like dead ass like exhausted, you know? Yeah, I'd be really exhausted if I did that. Yeah, no, I can't be doing that. It had to be like the closest thing to like a part-time I could ever probably do is probably like within my own hours. I think I don't want to say it, but DoorDash, Uber Eats, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I think I could do it, but like I kind of don't want to do it, you know? The problem is that there's too many variables, dude. There's too many variables in that type of like line of work. But I guess one of the variables is like flexible hours, so I guess there's that. It was actually really cool seeing like some people on like the Red platform post videos about like how they do things on like Uber Eats and what was it, Postmates? Do people still use Postmates? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, anyway. That is to say, my money goal is to save as much as humanly possible. As much as humanly possible. So... and it's kind of difficult. So with that in mind, what I'd like to do is literally take the entire sum of like my allowance, or you know, I say my allowance, take the entirety of like my paycheck and just allocate it immediately into like my portfolio instead of like back to me. I have this system where one of my holdings has like a dividend that it gives out like every week, and it's just enough. It's just enough to like get me by for a week as far as like expenses that are like my quote unquote luxuriousness, which is like, oh, spend like money on a game and then spend some money here on like an outing, because usually I'll eat from home like throughout the week because I'm working. And I guess that kind of works out because like my folks have been generous enough to just kind of like buy loads and loads of salad packs for me. So I have no excuses to like upkeep my like diet and everything like that, unless it's the holidays and we have a lot of chocolate. That's on me though. So invest big and spend less. Essentially. I can think of something immediately. Dental. Dental appointment needs to be done. In caps, needs to be done. Because it's a benefit that I just don't use for my workplace. It's like, what the hell am I doing with that, you know? I think the next thing is maintain. Hold on. Maintain my doctor's appointments. It's a good thing too. I have a little story about that actually, for those unfamiliar. When I was, it was October, dude. And I remember this vividly because it was the day after we had just done returning registrations for Comic-Con, and you know that's a yearly thing. We just sit around, we talk to people, like my brother, my cousins. We talk about, or we coordinate, and we also talk about things. We coordinate buying tickets because Comic-Con's kind of like hard to get into, even when you're like returning back from things. Oh damn! I just saw the bread platform just take a hit. It's a good thing we're just chatting about, so don't worry about it. But the day after that, I noticed something really weird. Something really weird with my eye, specifically. It's a huge scare. What I could only describe as like a flash when I blink, and like an overcast, like cloudiness, like around my eye, and a certain peripheral like viewpoint. Everything else is still okay. And it persisted for like another day or so. And within like I think the third day, that's when I really want to address it. The problem is, guys, and you're gonna, God, I wish I could tell you guys how important it is to like get that stuff set up for you, especially when you like get into like your 30s. Some people need it a little bit earlier than that, but like around your 30s, yes, please. I've been so fortunate to be like one of the more healthier like folks. I think maybe not just in my family, but just like I feel like I'm generally like healthy, like amongst my peers. But this definitely was a testament to that. Even with me working out and everything like that. Yeah, just something was going on, and to kind of keep the story kind of shortish, I had to get a referral to see like an ophthalmologist through my primary. My primary, who I haven't seen in years. In fact, the last time I saw my primary, that guy left. He left the facility. So I was without like a primary care at this point. So I have to establish a primary in order to get a referral. Meanwhile, this is a class like, what do they register? They register as like some kind of medical emergency. So it's like, dog, you want to take care of this. I could have, but it would be outside of like my my plan. So therefore, it cost a pretty penny. So that kind of sucked, big time. I was definitely concerned. But the long story short is that we got things going by asking the right people and providing the right amount of information to kind of push like appointments forward a little bit. It's called central serous. It's a condition where you have fluid built underneath your eye, your retina, and it causes a separation between like the retina and the tissue that provides the nutrients and such, like and stuff like that. But it also obscures your vision. It can actually be very extreme if not like tended to. Thankfully, we tackled that as soon as possible, and to this day, I'm on meds. Granted, I say to this day, but it's only been like a few months. I get to check in with them on January, so that on top of like my primary thing, which I'm still following up on, good. That is to say, yeah, keep up with the appointments, because since then I've been taking like, these like supplements for vitamin D, because your boy doesn't go out a lot to get sunlight, and even if you got sunlight, apparently that's not enough. If not, it also is kind of a danger for sure when it comes to skin cancer, the sun, the radiation. So that's something. That is to say, again, maintain doctor's appointments. That's kind of a big thing for me. A workout goal. I am fortunate enough to say that I still do enjoy working out. The only problem is that I don't really give myself enough time to really just tackle all the areas in the world, but I'm also kind of okay with that. I'm okay with just doing like some mild regimen stuff, and the reason I can only do that is because of work. I literally cannot wake up earlier than why I wake up now. I cannot function. It kind of sucks. Maybe if I locked in just a little bit more, but like I'm a pseudo morning person, but I'd rather just not really push myself like so much in the morning. I think it makes sense to do things like morning in, because like you have more energy then, but to really lock in like that, maybe that's not for me. That is to say, I think my goal to be I want to say within like 180. I'm currently 190 something, 193, and I think it's just I think I could really slim down just a little bit. And whatever I have that just bumps me up over is probably just like muscle stuff. I'd like to say, I'd like to think. So I'll just say I think on that one. And then, I mean, some people make goals of like, oh, I want to like look like this big, this cut. I want to have a six pack and everything. And it's like, I mean, that's great to have goals like that, but I kind of don't want to rock the boat too much on that one, where it's like, I really want to cut down all the times here, because my workout goal is kind of, or my workouts are kind of incorporate into my day-to-day to a point, but only to like be kind of like a hole in the wall type of like restaurant as an analogy, right? Nothing like substantial where like it's a whole facility. It's just kind of like meshing in with all the different walls and different establishments of my life, you know? So that being said, I think I'll just kind of keep the workout goal pretty minimum, and maybe I'll elaborate more on it. But for now, within 180 pounds, I think that's kind of, I think I'd kind of be going for that goal. And I think I'd be okay with that. 170 would be kind of crazy. I mean, I see my cousin like go down to like 160, something like that. I'm proud of him, by the way. He's done like a fantastic journey on that. But for me, I'm not sure. Should I really lock in? Become a skinny legend? Maybe. Let's talk about streaming goals, actually. I would say multi-stream is something I want to maintain. I would say more clips that are applicable to all of them. Applicable to all, okay. And also on top of that, incorporate what's the word? I would say incorporate more community focused things. Kind of like what we're doing right now. I mean, granted, like the focus is me, but like we could do something where we can have people like participate here and there. It just makes a little bit more sense, and it's a little easier if we can make it like Pokemon related, for example, you know? Asian Islander? Hey, yo, Justin, what's up? What's up? Hold on, you're a new chatter, but do I know you IRL though? Question. I guess so, right? Because of the fact like you used the first name, Chillin. Okay. Okay, that's all I was saying though. I was trying to incorporate more community-based stuff, like multiplayer related. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I don't think so. I don't go on IRL. Okay. I don't know. It was just like, hold on. I mean, like, that's the purple platform, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, maybe I do have just, like, my first name, like, somewhere. I'm not trying to hide that or anything. It was just like, oh, yeah, that's not really... But that could also be, like, the handle, yeah. Sorry, I never even thought about that. I just kind of, like, assume, like, everyone just kind of uses my username over there. Or they just kind of mingle, just as normal. As normal as we can, like, in an online space. Well, I appreciate you for jumping in and chilling. We're actually, I've been going through like my New Year's resolutions 2025, and now just kind of like plotting things out for 2026. I'm gonna look out for it plotted out pretty vaguely, but then I'll try to like get a little bit more specific on things, because I think that's, but yes, I am Vit, yeah. I'm like 3/4 Vietnamese and like 1/4 Chinese. Crazy how that worked out. That's crazy. You know, the people who like accuse me of being like Chinese, like when I was like a wee little lad, kindergarten days, grade school days, where everyone just immediately just assumed I was Chinese, and I was so pissed at that because they just put a label on me, and I was like, I'm not Chinese, guys, and it turns out they were actually a quarter right, and it didn't help. That was rough. Oh, the Twitter handle. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. I think that's kind of. I'll definitely be a little bit more specific on things. Shoot. Oh, you know what? I want a social goal. I'm bringing that back because it's tough. Austronesian, rather. Oh, okay, okay. I think that's the first time someone's ever like referred to me as that. But I'm down with it. Social goal. Social goal. I mean, I'll be more specific about it, but I'll be honest with y'all. I mean, I'm streaming all these different platforms, right? But I mean, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like this too. But I'm also like, I'm a little bit more introverted on the spectrum. Like, if we're talking about extremes of like extrovert and like introvert, I'm kind of like, if these are the ends, I'm kind of like sitting. Wait, which one? So let's say the purple platform is the intro, and then the red platform is the extrovert, right? The colors. I am probably like kind of right here, like right here. So I'm a little bit more that way, but like I can also like have conversations with people. I don't know what Austronesian actually means. I feel like I just thought Astro Man. I was like, oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Maybe I can actually like look at that. Austronesians are people, language and culture who are Taiwanese, Southeast Asians, and Pacific Islanders, and Madagascar. Hey, shout out to Madagascar. Austronesians that's a new one. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that is to say, guys, I'm not really a social butterfly. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, sorry, TikTok over there. Let me help you guys out here. Okay, we're good. It's crazy that Madagascar is like only African country that speaks an Asian language. That's insane, bro. You know, I didn't even think about that or even knew it, to be honest with you. I only know the movie. Kowalski analysis, please. So yeah, not really a social butterfly, but I don't know. I never really had like an issue with my level of socialization per se. I mean, the only issue I'd ever have is that there's some times where a stranger will walk up to me and we'll just strike up a conversation, and I feel like I should try to like add more to the conversation, but they definitely could ask more questions, and I know I definitely can. That type of limit, you know? Like, if I talk to any one of my friends, or let's say, for example, a friend group. Let's say, like, Phil and I and myself, we're a trio. They're, like, my closest friends, if not my best friends, really. And I love them to death. And, you know, when things pop up, we have conversations. But at the end of the day, at the, like, later on hours, it's just them talking to each other. And not really me. And I think we understand each other where, you know, that's a normal thing for me to just kind of like drop out of conversation like that, because it's not like I'm not paying attention to them. I'm listening. I am listening. I just don't have a lot I can really like give back as far as feedback, whether it's something that they have an interest that they're talking about that I'm not necessarily aligned with, but I'll still listen to them, sure. I've noticed this in the most recent gatherings I've had, the Christmas party, the cousin hangout. Like, I always am the one to just kind of drop off a conversation. One, because I might be a little bit tired at the end of the day, but I feel like I just don't really contribute a lot to conversations, and that kind of bothers me. Not necessarily that like I feel left out, but because I just don't feel like I have enough input, and therefore I don't feel like significant in like that dynamic, I guess, which is another way to say like I don't feel like I'm enough. That's a roundabout thing. So I'll get back into that a little bit more, but let's just say engage more. Social goal. There we go. Alright, sorry y'all. Sorry, I was yapping big time. It's crazy too because, you know, I feel like when everyone talks about video games and everything like that, it's like, yeah, I'm totally open to it. If we talk about anime, then yeah, I'm totally open to it. But I guess like in that group, like say I guess my cousins and whatnot, like we talk about life, and I'll tell you like what I'm going through and everything like that. But like, is it something where I'm not like interesting enough to like be asked questions about that? Like I'll ask questions about like how everyone else is doing, but I guess for me it doesn't really come naturally. I guess I'll have to like think a lot about like all that kind of stuff. You know that funny thing about certain like things that will help prolong conversations? One of them is like tell me about it, or like tell me more. I think IC is another one. Maybe. But like that kind of thing. But like as far as me actually like probing the question to somebody or prompting a question for somebody, I might need some help without the need of context, because I can talk to everybody here and like, hey everyone who's watching right now, I am really curious about what you guys have planned out for 2026. Like what are some goals and aspirations that you guys are trying to like achieve? Anything that you've accomplished in 2025? See, I can like, the moment I know a contextual thing, I can be like, oh, well now I can bring this up, I can prompt it, I can actually like steer the wheel of like this like conversation, you know? But in a neutral setting, it's like, I mean, do I just talk about video games? It's like, is that my only like, is that my only magic trick? I don't know. I would like to say that streaming has definitely helped with, you know, finding my voice among like other things, a little bit of confidence here and there, learning how to project my voice just a little bit more. Because yeah, so I mean, we can also talk about music, but that's the problem, is that like, well, I mean, maybe that's not a problem. Let's keep it open here. Yeah, everyone loves music, for sure. So like, I guess like for example, like for me, for the longest time, even though I never really like in the beginning, like I don't even say middle school, I wasn't really thinking too much about music. I mean, I'll listen to artists like here and there. I mean, through like what school, like the school plays. I know that there was a good time and period in middle school where everyone was playing like, yeah, ×3, yeah, 3x, Ursha baby, Usha, yeah man. I mean, that's still bop, but like, you'd also get really tired of that real quick. You know what? Recently, TikTok has been like invading my feeds of like vinyl records. I'm not really into like collecting vinyls. I think they're really cool. Don't get me wrong, but they were turning me up to like some like 80s like Japanese like pop music, and I was like, huh? Like how good is oh it's good. It's like, oh no, is that gonna be like my new phase? Is it just like 80s Japanese music? It's just like that's the vibe. Pop music? Is that my new thing? I don't know. Unfortunately, Spotify doesn't support a lot of that. Why do they like that? I think the only way I can actually listen to that music is to actually buy the CDs, the vinyls even, which I think I can just have them imported, right? Yeah, something like that. Some EDM, some rock. Oh, okay. I feel personally I can listen to a lot of music. I can like a lot of music. But as far as like me sticking to some, it kind of depends, you know? Asian and Pacific Islanders like love hip-hop music, R&B music, reggae, dance. You know what? I just think about the stems that they release on like the red platform as far as content creation, and it always like will hover towards like R&B like theme stuff for like my content. I do kind of like that, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, aside from like but the problem is that I'm an anime boy. I also like video game music a lot, so like that's kind of like where I kind of fall into play. that's where a lot of my knowledge can kind of like go from. But even then, it's like I can tell you like, oh, I like this opening from this this show. You know what's crazy is that like a lot. I mean, I definitely have a type for sure, but like I gotta give credit where credit's due. If you guys have seen like Attack on Titan, right? There's an opening. It's not the final opening, but it's one of the openings for the final season, I think. It's called Rumbling. And it's just like a rock screamo type of thing. And you know what? I gotta give... You know what? I didn't think I'd like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. But otherwise, I mean, like, Lisa's really good. Like, I'm trying to think. Some other groups have been, like, popping up here and there. Literally anybody who, like, just kind of reappears for, like, openings and whatnot. They got me. But you're listening to one of them right now. The Trail series, what you're listening to right now, like has some really good tracks here and there. Like for me personally, as much as I like the some of the, like, I guess the heavy metal, like higher like BPM and whatnot, stuff like this for streams, totally a vibe. There's another one. I can probably like pull it up. It's like my favorite thing. If I can find it. But yeah, so social goals. Okay, so we could talk about music, and I will go ahead and write that down actually, because you know, people like music, hobbies and whatnot. Because I can't just lead conversations with how's the weather. We can't be doing this in 2026. I was about to type in weather. Music, hobbies, not necessarily video games. That's me, but like, you know. You know what I like to ask is like what people like to do like outside of like their day-to-day. You know, everyone's got a job, you know, but like what do people actually like work towards, you know? Also, sorry guys, where's that track? I need it. It's just so good. It's the only track I have of it from Cold Steel. The only pop music I hate is teen pop music. Interesting. I mean, I think I kind of get it. I'll have to actually like listen in on one of them. Well, you know, it's one of those weird things where like I hear the music and I'll just kind of get teleported back into that age. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I liked that music. I wouldn't like announce it to the entire room that I love this music because I wasn't social like that either, but you know. I mean, they're good for a reason, in my personal opinion. What else did I have in mind for, do I want a social media goal? Not necessarily. I think I want just like a content goal. More shorts on the Red platform and TikTok as well. The Purple platform, unfortunately, is they definitely promote shorts and everything like that, but it feels a little bit less of like the focus than it is, you know, the actual streaming content. Makes sense, right? Mandy Moore, not feeling it. Oh, Britney Spears, NSYNC, 90 Degrees. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like one of my favorite tracks from Britney was really like Toxic, to be honest. It's just like, I don't know. That's really cool. NSYNC has some stuff. He got some stuff. I remember listening to him for a little bit. Also Backstreet Boys. Aren't they doing, I forgot, were they doing like a tour and everything like that? Speaking of something like that, I remember that, it's so weird. Okay, so Green Day, right? We saw them last year, I believe, as a friend group, and we went to the concert venue, and the venue itself was not really perfect because it was kind of like a football field, but it was definitely not made for like a concert and everything like that. as far as the acoustics. So it was kind of hard to hear the singer sing. But it was fun. I actually really loved the Green Day concert. But having said that, though, it's kind of tough with the music itself. You know, if I were to listen to like an actual track on Spotify right now from Green Day, I just don't really feel it. You know, it's definitely a particular like identity, and I really respect it for it. But I don't think it's my cup of tea. My cup of tea is right. Sorry, I didn't want to make that joke. But I just saw it and I was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. My cup of tea is right here. Oh, brother. And I fear that I'm gonna make a clip out of that. So dumb. So dumb. Oh boy. Okay, so more shorts on the Red platform and also the TikTok platform. Oh shoot. Y'all got hit with ads over on the purple platform. My bad, my bad. We'll try to like just keep it chill right now. Oh, forgot about that. It's good to reference. Let's see, monthly. Hold on. I have an idea, or rather, I just have something to build off of. Monthly streaming events. It's tough. Also, this might be a night where I just have like a really itchy nose, so apologies if I just keep scratching it. I think that typically happens when, I don't know, it has like a certain feeling. It's hard to really describe that, but this isn't the first time it actually happened like that. But monthly streaming events, that's gonna be a really hard one to like hash out and outline. But as far as the execution, that might not be that bad. I'll come back to that once people come back from ads on the purple platform. You know what? I like the positivity goal that I had laid out. That was actually really cool. Also, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so as I said, more shorts on the Red platform and TikTok platforms, because that's kind of how you grow, to be honest. But one of the issues I came across was the fact that once the Pokemon content that I typically post there, once Pokemon season is over, as in like a new game has come out, the DLC came out, and people are doing the content, everything like that, as well as I am. After that, it just kind of goes quiet for a while. And now I understand why Austin John Plays actually has issues posting anything other than like Pokemon content. I finally listened into like his reasoning for that, because I also thought about like, hey, I mean, you have a really huge following. Why don't you post video? And it's not like I asked him directly about this, because I don't know him like that. But I was wondering about that. Like, well, why don't you focus on like some of the other first party stuff? And I guess he kind of explained it in like one of the other interviews he had, where it's like, you know, there just becomes fluctuations of followers like inflowing versus like them like leaving, because it's obviously not content that they're looking for. It may be Nintendo focused, but not everyone is going to listen to like a Pikmin playthrough versus them listening to like a how-to on Pokemon, right? So it leads to lesser numbers as far as, you know, overall viewership, if you have an established niche. So I kind of get that. Having said that, though, I would love to like bridge the gap there. I think the reason that some people can thrive on that kind of stuff, as far as, you know, them being, what's the word for it? Content creators that kind of do different things. A variety streamer. So variety streamers exist, and they seem to be doing pretty well. I mean, I'm not looking at the numbers or anything like that per se, but they seem to be doing all right. But it's like, why? So why are they doing well versus some other person, you know? It's like the IRL streamers. I mean, let's say like Kai Cenat, for example. Really huge on the purple platform, right? iShowSpeed, you know, also a really big content creator too. And, you know, they have a past of like playing video games. Like it hasn't really left them per se. They just have like a lot of these like ambitious goals and whatnot in mind that people watch them for. But they definitely played some other games here and there, so you know, and that's kind of tough. So it's like, but the thing is that ultimately the formula it is that like they are the key component of that entire equation. It's the thing that works. So, you know, so like for example, Kai Cenat can he can have his stream of Bloodborne, for example. He'll have his stream of Elden Ring, and then he can just do like an IRL stream of like, you know, streamer, like what was it, Streamer Academy, Streamer University, and that does extremely well because, you know, it's not just like, well, I mean, maybe not Streamer University, but he also does like IRL stuff too. So like, I mean, what was he? He had Drewski. He had why am I blanking on the name? Uh oh. Don't tell me, because I'm just gonna look it up. It's gonna kill me if I don't remember his name, because like how could I, you know? Oh yeah, the drummer guy. I remember the drummer guy. Sorry, that just kind of showed up. Kevin Hart. Oh. Oh, why did I forget him? My bad, Kevin Hart. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. But also, I'm sorry. That's a funny duo, but like, you know, he's able to do that kind of stuff, but also play other games, you know? I mean, his viewership will definitely get impacted to some degree, but like, it's kind of like smaller numbers in comparison. But I mean, you know, I guess for someone as big as him, he also has to consider like, what's the most impactful thing? So fair. But, I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was doing. Dave Chappelle's king. Ooh, yeah. He's funny. That guy's funny. But, what was I trying to say? It was about multi-streaming and like variety streamers, and it was talking about content that was, oh yeah, it's because it was back to the shorts thing where it's like my content just becomes sparse once like the initial wave of like Pokemon hype is like over. And I kind of hate that. Russell Peters is actually a new one for me, so I might have to write that down. I might also need to see if there's like other like Asian comedians, because I literally only remember one. I only remember one of them. And it was the guy who's explaining like Chinese New Year and what it actually means. I mean, he's not wrong. And given my new mindset, yeah, I kind of like lean more towards that now. Canadian comedian. Okay, all right. Maybe I've seen him before. But yeah, so I should probably mark that down. So the fact is that niche is good. Niches are good. But I hate feeling of I guess off season. Off season posting, as in I am posting something about something else irrelevant to my main thing. But I guess to be fair, that's the reason why we have like different seasons of football and like football and then basketball. And then there's baseball. Goku is a great Asian comedian. Okay. I will I'll also just write that down too. If that was not one of them. Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. We need more. I need more! Yeah. So, I don't know how to solve off-season posting. It ultimately would have to be like, the content's me. And I guess what you could say is that I'm kind of doing that, or at least I'm trying to push for that, by just simply going live on all these different platforms, and it's not Pokemon related, you know what I mean? Or RPG related. I guess in a way we are trying to like grow ourselves as RPG in an RPG sense. But having said that, I don't really like that. My next thing I wrote down was like monthly streaming events. I love that idea. So much so, I put this down in like 2023 and did nothing with it. Or 2025. So I was cooking with it, right? I was trying to figure something out, but I couldn't really... You could do music reactions. I do like music. I mean, we kind of already established that. But the problem is, like, what's safe, you know? What is safe? The safe thing, it's not streaming at all. Just being a hermit. Really raising up your stakes so that, like, the level of risk you ever, like, accrue is so little and minute that it literally would take the freakish accident to ever, like, take you in. But... streaming events. Yeah, react to old and new music you haven't heard of. It could still be music from like... Actually, you might be cooking. Asian Islander, I think you might be cooking with that. Hold on. Alright, let's take a spin on this one. Because, a little bit of lore. We have, we've done... Hold on. I'm trying to, like... Trying to tab out of this one too, so I can do something with this. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Music reactions. So a little bit of lore. The whatchamacallit, the old Danga Productions Red platform account used to post a lot of reactions. I had this epiphany, right? Back in 2015, 14, maybe, probably 16, I had the idea, like, what if we just did reactions? Reactions feel really big right now. And I was right. But there was also, within the midst of that, there was a lot of issues regarding what was okay with reactions, monetization issues, and everything and the like. So before we really caught a lot of heat, I just kind of shut that down. It is a different, it has been a very long time since then, and the way of reaction videos has definitely shifted quite a lot. There's still people who, like, you know, do full-fledged reactions and they don't really say much in anything like that, and once it's over they just kind of click off without even having any input. There's probably still some people like that, but otherwise that environment has since changed. Music reactions and, sorry, I'm reading this, and movie nights reactions are popular things on Twitch. New purple platform and red platform. You know what? I can probably allow that for certain things for sure. I like reactions as far as like gaming related stuff. As much as I like anime, I could not bring myself to like start like trying to cross that or bridge that, you know, given like the current environment. Music for video games is kind of like a weird placement, so I'm kind of a little bit more like leaning towards that. I kind of don't mind that. Seeing there's a lot of Tupac reactions. Oh boy. Well, I mean, it's definitely a slippery slope, I would say, because, you know, because when you do stuff like that, you're kind of dancing like around like the whole, you know, flag monetary system, because especially if you want to make this a monetary thing, which I'm sure a lot of people want to do, that becomes an issue. Thankfully, if that's not the case, they could probably like just flag it here and there, and they will just say like, oh, this will share revenue, or at least all the proceeds will go into like whoever owns this. And aside from the falsified like claims here and there, which can piss a lot of people off, it's otherwise not too bad, you know. But I also, yeah, there's certain lines I don't really want to cross when it comes to reaction videos, I will say. I mean, yeah, you can like do all the Hell's Kitchens you want, but I'd rather just not try to take that chance, you know? Hell, even as a Patreon type of thing, couldn't really, I mean, that'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? But I haven't opened up Patreon in a while, and I don't really know how well they kind of do things over there. Ugh, sorry about that. I definitely rambled on a little bit too long for that one. But music reactions, I love that. If it's like, I'll say video game music, because I've been seeing a little bit more of that as far as like, you know, free-to-plays and whatnot. I'm thinking about more Hoyoverse stuff, and I do kind of like them a bit, so maybe that. I guess reactions to trailers, like, you know, well, it kind of depends, but you know, to trailers and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know why I don't do that anymore. I think it's one of those things where it just, I just never prepare myself for them, because I used to have like a weird phase where I didn't know if I wanted to sit down and actually do a reaction to like this like trailer right now versus just watching it immediately. I just have to adopt that mindset to just like hold off on that, and let's actually sit down and do a video with that, whether it's live or not, you know? I guess that's what it's come down to. Anyway, that was a good brainstorming type of session right there. Positivity goal. I don't know, guys, I kind of liked it. Earlier I was talking about my doctor's appointments, how that's been upkept because I had like a medical emergency, a la central serous in my left eye. And what I didn't tell you guys was the fact that ophthalmologists had told me about it. They're telling me that like central serous is it's not like too crazy, but it is attributed towards caffeine plus high stress. So if you have the two, and I apologize guys, I'm getting really itchy with my nose right here. I just gotta put some Vaseline on it, to be honest. I'll just have to like dip out for a little bit, but let me just finish this thought. So stress and caffeine. So aside from like some light like bit of soda here with like a little bit of caffeine, and that one scary instance where I got that one tea that my folks had brought in after their vacation, and that turned out to have way more caffeine than expected and almost caused me to relapse back into like the shadow cast thing on my my left eye. I went away eventually, but you know, it's just one of those things where I like, well, yeah, no caffeine helps, but also getting stressed out over work, for example, and maybe some other things would also be a bad thing as well. So I think that's where the positivity comes in. What else can I say aside from a better outlook on things, on circumstances? I think that's kind of the better thing to say. I think I've got a little bit better. No more soda. Yeah, no more soda would have to be the case. Like I can take a little bit of soda here and there, but it's also one of those things where I wouldn't try to subscribe myself back into that, because I also don't want to like find myself like diagnosed with like diabetes. I got close last year, and I really do not want to try to do that. Yeah, we don't want to do that. But yeah, no. So we'll it's just kind of about not stressing out with work. Here's the thing. I'll be 100% transparent with everybody, and anyone who's from work who might see this later on. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's just a personal thing. You call me, I'm gonna get mad. You inconvenience me. How often do you drink soda? Like, it used to be kind of a little bit more consistent. It was like a weekly thing. It'd be like, it wouldn't be just one GT, thank you. It wouldn't just be like the one can, it'd be like 2 cans. Sometimes 3 cans of like soda. Like weekly, that I just literally get from my friends. Bless them. And GG, thank you for the follow. But yeah, that wasn't healthy, among some other things, and probably some food choices, I'm sure. But These days, to be honest, like I hardly ever drink soda, you know, and it's kind of weird. Like maybe there'll be like an event here and there. Like I think the last time I drank some soda was actually literally this last weekend, which was like a Christmas hangout type of thing where I had like just like one red cup, like you know the solo cups of like just regular Coca-Cola. Otherwise, I would typically just kind of like go towards Coke Zero. Not the greatest like alternative, but it is an alternative, sure. Otherwise, the majority of things I drank was really just water, and yeah, you know. And then prior to that, the last time I drank any soda was probably well, actually, no, it scratches that. No, it was day after that was the cousin hangout, and one of my cousins brought some form of soda, so I had that. So aside from those two occasions, I would say that the last one was probably when it was earlier in December. That was my friend's son's first birthday, and I was like, yeah, that was great. I made sure to just kind of like stick to the Coke Zero. I know that there was other things, but again, that's still soda. So there's some caffeine somewhere in there. I'm also trying to avoid both. I don't want to get double whammied by this. So you could say like it used to be pretty bad where it was like, you know, it was like 2 cans weekly. But I think some other people have like worse. The problem is that like if you just start doing that, then it's not really bad. It's just the compounding aspect of things where like it just keeps building and becomes like a really bad thing at the end of like of a month where you have just so much intake on that. These days though, I mean, we got LaCroix, and I use that as an alternative whenever like I'm done with my workouts. But even then, it's like maybe I don't even need that either. I will say I have like gone like an acquired taste for LaCroix anyway, so not bad, not bad. Definitely just to help offset like it at the start of things, it was to help offset like that desire for like a soda, right? And I wasn't even like a fanatic for it. It was just kind of like, just don't be doing that. But in any case, the other thing is just stress from work. As I said before, if y'all call me, I'm already inconvenienced. But it's also the other way around, right? So no, that's the aspect of things. And the other thing that I have issues with is the fact that like I'm trying to be efficient when I work and everything like that, and that can be difficult because you know socializing is an aspect of like work, whether we want to admit that or not. And communication is really key. Keeping rapport is also very important, and it's just also, you know, the need for boundaries, I guess. Because my issue is that I guess what gets to me like that, what gets me at that state anyway, is that need to take care of like work pronto. Like you give me an assignment, I'll just take care of it immediately. It won't be one of those things where it's like, let me just finish up this real quick and then I'll address this. That's proper time management on somebody. That's someone you look at and be like, oh, they got things put together. And then there's me where it's like, get this done. I'm like, all right, got it. There. And I get interrupted by something else. It looks really good in the moment. And you get praised for it. Oh, thanks for the prompt response, Justin. Like, hey, I really appreciate the quick work on this. But like it hurts you. It ends up like putting like additional stress on you that, you know, you otherwise won't really learn to navigate. I mean, it's okay if like everything's like a light load, but at a certain point, if you don't really know how to manage things, especially when things start piling on top of you, it can be a problem. So I've learned kind of some boundaries as far as setting up time slots in which I take care of things. It's not perfect. I'm still always working towards it, but it's definitely something that I think is the better approach and just helps me manage things better. So, better manage work. The workflow. All right. All right, it's actually looking like a pretty decent list so far. I just haven't really been very specific on what I wanted to do. Except for a couple. We're actually doing pretty good there. I'm kind of looking back at my other, like, my past years and see if there's anything else I kind of want to make sure I, like, list out here. You know what? I can get really specific. Like, for example, the podcast we, like, do on, like, the other red platform, and also just here on the purple platform is... Those are kind of tough, because... I think that also kind of coincides with my social, like, goal. Because I love my friends and everything like that, and I'll still talk to them about certain things, but there are definitely moments where I wouldn't say disconnect from the conversation, but it's definitely one of those things where I cannot connect too well with our current conversation, if that makes sense. Something like that. I'm also just trying to see if there's anything here. The social media one. I put social media in the form of, like, shorts. So I guess, but unless maybe I can incorporate that into the other platforms instead of trying to, like, make a tweet and just be a little bit funny about it, where it's like, this just in, the Switch 2 has much more, like, physical cartridges. Thankfully we Thankfully, we had voiced our opinions on the survey, and we tried to make something witty about that. But I feel like those are also good places where I could just have an outward opinion about something and just kind of like write it down and just like leave it like that. And I don't know, I just don't do it. That's the problem. And I don't know why I don't. Maybe it's just one of those things where, like, I could make more consistent postings if I just set like a timer for it. Set a schedule for, like, oh, at 3 p.m. Justin, make a tweet. Just whatever. What you feeling? And I can literally tell you right now, like, well, I'm currently waiting for the Zenless Zone Zero. Oh, I don't have to wait anymore, but the Zenless Zone Zero update where they're incorporating the final story, Xinguang, I think, is now available. So me and my, like, 60, 90 so polls will try our damnedest to try to get her home. Otherwise, my account is quote unquote bricked. How's that for a tweet? We got some work to do, but then I'm like, okay, well, what if I, like, try to post that, like, can I translate that into other, like, platforms? But then it also becomes kind of a drag too. I might also just be making, like, a lot of excuses as to, like, just not doing it. So I don't know. So there's a content goal. I'll just put it at social media, I think. Oh man. Here's the thing though. I mean, maybe that's a good thing too. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I even finish that thought, there's something I want to, like, really input or implement, which is, like, literally been counterproductive for me, and that's doom scrolling. I need to make a doom scrolling goal, as in to avoid it. Never in my life would I imagine this to be a real issue for me. I mean, checking your phone all the time has been kind of a problem since getting a smartphone, but doom scrolling has never been so prevalent until, TikTok and other short platforms. I've just been incorporating that. So as odd as it is to make a New Year's resolution on doom scrolling to reduce that, I think your boy needs to actually make something like that happen. So reduce that. Because the issue is that it gets in the way, and I'll actually, like, talk about it here. The biggest problem is that it gets in the way of me sleeping on time. It's so bad. I'll be in bed Like after this, after I'm done streaming, I'll brush my teeth, I'll like wash my face, I'll do everything I need to do. I even take my drops and everything like that, clean everything up, and then I hit the hay right there, and I'm like, okay. And I just spent like an hour. I spent an hour just like on TikTok scrolling random videos because it just feeds like what's the particular thing. It I wasn't gonna say endorphins. There's something else. I forget the chemical for it, but essentially it just kind of like intrigues me every single time. I'm just scrolling for like new content, and there is just new content. But I do find some funny things in there. My favorite thing that I found on TikTok was this guy. He's with his other homie, his other coworker, and like they're in like their typical like work attire. And he's like, I want to make this clear real quick. The money will change me. And the guys in the back, the money will change me. I will switch up on my day ones in sync immediately. So crazy. GG's asking, can we play Pokemon Scarlet? We'll play it another day for sure. I apologize, but I wanted to make sure I dedicate this just to like going through our goals and just kind of like chatting a little bit. I will want to do that though, I promise you. Question though, was there something you wanted to do in Pokemon Scarlet so I could just write that down? Because that is something I wanted to actually like do as a goal. Doom scroll, reducing it. Sorry, I'm just gonna outline what's the problem here. Prevents good sleep. Also, yeah, Twitter/X also has doom scrolling there too. Not as prevalent, but still has it. Prevents, I guess what's the word? Doom scrolling reduces, prevents, productivity is a big thing. Both work and also the work that I do here as far as content creation. It really sucks. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Oh, also, something I wanted to add to the social goal actually is to initiate first. Start initiating. Yeah, we'll do that. Defeat 5-star Walking Wake. Is Walking Wake still going? That should be a time limit thing, right? I'm curious about that. I'm so curious about that, actually. Oh, man. That's the cool thing about, like, the Scarlet and Violet events. But, oh! Until January 4th. Okay, got it. Damn. We should... I was gonna say, we should do something like that. You know, we do have time. I mean... we do it on the 1st? That is our Pokemon stream, actually. I think we should. Great idea. So, I'm making that clear right now on all the platforms. All of them. Thursday. I don't think there's anything going on Thursday. So let's just make that a Pokemon streaming day. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure folks might want to hang out, but I don't know. Well, I think the evening of the 1st is okay. It's typically Wednesday 31st evening. That's when people want to do stuff. And I don't even know if I want to do that per se. So that kind of goes against my socializing type of goal, but we have our limits. So yeah, stay tuned on Thursday. Stay tuned on Thursday evening. Okay, so we're starting to like dig into some of the other things. I'm just trying to see if there's any other goals I had in mind. So now I'm like, okay, well, you can make goals all you want. Well, actually, you know what? Having gaming goals. That sounds very non-existent. Gaming goals. You know what? It'll be something that I always do. Finish 10 plus games. It's because we always have a game of the year type of talk at the very end of everything. I think we'll be doing some filming in January, and then I'll get a video out there so we can all like check it out. But yeah, it's kind of the premise. I wanted to actually tackle this backlog as well as like finish any other new games that came out. There's a lot of new games that came out this year, but I did the math on that one, and actually have finished at least like 11 games. So it's like, okay, finished as in like I've done it like a good chunk into that, and I'm actually happy to talk about it because I think Wednesday evening, if I'm not gonna do any like weird, if I'm not gonna participate in like end of the year stuff, what I'll probably do instead is that we'll just have another situation where we'll sit down and we'll talk about games that I've actually like played through this year. It'll be like a little fun like revisit on things that like I've played on stream, but also games that I've actually just played off stream and I get to talk about it. Because there's a lot I do really like about it too. So so gaming goals would also include like finish 10 games. I was thinking about the streaming event stuff. You know what? I can always throw in a Mario Kart or equivalent like group multiplayer thing. I was just thinking about that. What about is it part of streaming goals? I'll go ahead and just like put that down right now. So where is it? There we go. So I was gonna say Mario Kart, Pokemon, just so we have a place where we can place that. Anyone like Splatoon? I do kind of like Splatoon, but I don't really get that sweaty into Splatoon, to be honest. It is fun though. I'll just throw that in there. Splatoon, maybe throw in some Kirby Air Riders. Funny enough, I was gonna say, we've actually never played Mario Kart this year on stream. No, we haven't actually. Yeah. It's just one of those things where like, I'll do it at some point. Yeah, I never did. Well, maybe this year we'll change. Well, I mean, maybe next year we'll change things. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you know what? Workout goal. I mean, I can do. Well, I'll hold off on that for a little bit. I have my money goal in mind. I mean, that's kind of tough. So, I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick outline, and I can be transparent about it. So, I have this money goal in mind where, one, I try to spend little of what I actually like get back for like my paycheck. The thing is that the way I have it set up is that I would love to use the dividends from one of my holdings to pretty much pay for any like fun things I want to do, right? Within a reason. Like I pull out like 200 a week. That's just what I do. And by doing that, it allows me to just take everything from my paycheck and just put it into the portfolio without any type of like need to pull any of that out just for my own expenditure. So it kind of helps build it faster. At least that's my logic on it. And for the time being right now, it seems to be doing a pretty decent job. I just wish it could just grow a little bit faster, you know? because I'm really trying to like leverage like the whole compound interesting like aspect of things, but it's really difficult right now. Oh, you're asking about pro wrestling? I don't. I can see the appeal of it, but like for the most part, I don't really watch too many sports. I am definitely the type of guy who will, I'll sit down and watch it if other people are watching it, you know. But I don't outright like go after it, you know, as far as check it out. I guess you could say the same thing about concerts too. I was upset about that. Wait a minute. So, not too long back, it was actually in July, where the Sonic Symphony Orchestra was going to be playing in San Diego during the week of Comic-Con. And, you know, I'm going to Comic-Con. It's been like a yearly tradition. So I go there, and I've been trying to like just kind of like push people to just try to like join up with me to like check it out. But instead of them just saying flat out like, I'm sorry guys, I'm not into it either, or for example, you know, I'm just not available during that time, or just say like, sorry, I just got other things going on. They could have said any of that. They didn't say a damn thing. And so I was just like, hey, just following up with everybody. Is anyone kind of down to check out Sonic Symphony with me? I can purchase the tickets and everything. And it's like, can y'all like, can we normalize, you know, just having a response, like no hard feelings, but I just don't want to go to this. And it's like, okay, that's cool. It's okay to like different things. Just leave me on red. It's kind of like trifling. That's what it is. Anyway, that's not. Let me actually just. All right, sorry. Sorry about that. I got a little heated right there. We're trying to be positive. Positive goals, right? People have reasons to like opt out. I just personally wish, with all the energy I'm conserving, I just personally wish that people could just be honest and open with me. You know? Actually, that just reminded me. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm trying to remember trying to be more specific on my money goal thing, because like that's kind of like, I don't talk about it a lot nowadays, but it was kind of like the big proponent for 2025, because that was the eye opener of like, hey dude, honestly, you either rent or you just don't do a house, and I'm not trying to rent, so I'm kind of like stuck. So invest big and spend less. That's kind of like my big thing. I need to give myself like really, I don't have to, but I want to give myself a concrete thing in mind as far as like how much money do I want to start accruing from like dividends and everything like that. I think I've just recently passed the 500 mark weekly just by dividends alone, but I mean that also fluctuates too, so we never know. So that's kind of tough. I mean, 1,000 a week sounds pretty nice. Yeah, all right, I'll put that down. Collectively, 1,000 a week, and that's great because that means that I don't need that much, so I just put that back in. So therefore, it just helps grow things a little bit faster, you know. So I'll just say 1,000 weekly would be nice, and that'll be the kind of the current goal going forward. I'm also investing in Bitcoin, but I also know that a lot of people don't really talk about that, so don't worry. I won't really like bore you guys with that. I'm just trying to build that nest egg right there. Dental appointments need to be done. There's not really much I don't need to elaborate much on that. Aside from like maybe giving myself like an actual like month of a deadline. Because I think I might want to do it in February. Oh, I'll just write that down. Try for February. And I'll definitely remember this one, okay? Maintain my doctor's appointments. That's pretty straightforward. I don't think I have much to worry about that one. I had to do some blood work on like the week prior to that, but that same week I'm also seeing my ophthalmologist, so I'll get like the updated reading on that one to see how well I've been like having all the fluid in my eye like go down. It's pretty good. Like I don't see any like shadow over my eye, so we're good. Also, Gigi was asking, have you watched Avatar Fire and Ash yet? Okay, so don't be mad. I just am not really interested in Avatar. I just like, I mean, obviously, whenever I think of Avatar, I always think about like the cartoon, Nickelodeon, Avatar: Last Airbender, like that's my jam and everything like that. But I never really watched, James Cameron's Avatar. I get it, but like, I'm also like not interested. Like maybe I need to just spend like a weekend just watching like the 2 movies, and then I can watch Fire and Ash. I don't know. I apologize. Like it never really like got my attention like that. And maybe I should add that to my my New Year's resolution to try new things. Shows and movies is a good one. Something that's kind of passive. Shows, music, and movies. So I would like to just know a little bit more about music as well. Like, it's one of those things where like my cousins were talking about, what was the show? Not Fallout. Oh shoot, that's my time. How long have we been talking for? 10? It's 10. Uh-oh. I'm running out of time. This would actually be my stopping point. So, let me think about this. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, no, my cousins were talking about a show that they've been caught up on, but I just don't remember what it was. That's the issue. But I think it's on Netflix. But I remember talking about it, like, I should probably watch K-pop Demon Hunters. I hear it's really, really good. I don't know if it's for me, but I can still probably enjoy it. That type of thing. So, I mean, try that. Anyway, I'm just kind of like looking to my goals and see if I can like add to them. Workout goal, 180 pounds, I think. I think that's the only little thing I have going on with workout goals. I'm not really that big on working out per se, as far as like getting results. I mean, yeah, like I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, it's really cool that I have like more defined muscles now, but like, it's not one of those things where I'm anxiously I'm wanting to show it off. You know what I mean? I mean, there might be like a time like in the like near or far-flung future where you'll just see me and I'll just be in the elements. And maybe you guys will be like, oh, he's not bad. Or like, oh, you really gained a lot. Whatever happens, But I'm not really out there to try to impress anybody, but like just impress myself, I guess, Asian Islander is asking, you like comic books? I mean, I think I could like comic books, but I'm just not interested as much. It's weird because like, I like Sonic, I like Mega Man. They've also have comics here and there, and I think I could like totally get down with that, at least if we're not talking about DC and Marvel. And I like those entities too, but I just never really like done any of the comic stuff. I'll write that down though. Comics. We have a comic shop somewhere, so I mean, it's been there for like a long ass time, I'm not gonna lie. I just never really got into it, But having said that, the workout goal, there's not really much aside from what I'm trying to do. Going back on the streaming goals, multi-stream, more clips applicable to all of them, incorporating more community-based multiplayer stuff. That includes Mario Kart, Pokemon, Splatoon, maybe. That's kind of like, I'm not sure about that. Kirby Air Riders. I don't know. I'm just like kind of like a Nintendo head over here. But we could definitely play some other things. I don't really have any other issues with that, to be honest. Oh, The Last Ronin is also great. Gotta read the Batman comics. Oh no. That might be a great idea. I don't know, like it's the content brain. I'm like thinking of ideas of like just video ideas of me just trying out all these different things, and I feel like that there's a pocket of niche like that could work with that. I might have to start a new channel for that, to be honest. Could we make like a comics like related channel? That'd be kind of fun. Oh man, that'd be my whole personality, dude. I'd be like, I just got into comic books, and now I'm trying all these different places to see if we can find all the different collections and everything like that. And that'd be like chaotic. That'd be a money sink, specifically. Don't worry, I have it written down for sure. My social goal, I want to engage more. And I have some ideas talking about music, hobbies, and goals in mind. I want to be someone who starts initiating conversations with people, but I also want to be the person that people, or I want to be the inviting presence for people. Or if people want to talk to me about like their problems, kind of like how Daryl like talked about earlier. Even if I don't really have like the answers or anything, I would like to be like that person that people can just reliably talk to and have someone to listen. But you have to like develop a rapport with people, you know? You have to develop that rapport for people to trust you for that. So there's that. But content goal, more shorts on the Reddit and TikTok platforms. The niches are good, but I hate the feeling of off-season posting. And I feel like that's so like, wow, that's such a great thing for me to like put down there. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I get that. So how do we get out of that? Well, we can start adding some stuff in here that can still chain off of things, like from doing, I would even from like off the cup, like some tier list of like Pokemon tracks, for example, that is still within the Pokemon realm and everything. That's an example, right? But I can kind of do that. And as someone who's like kind of an RPG head over here, I can also like listen to RPG music as well. Good ideas, actually. Great ideas. Great brainstorming. I also have a social media like goal. I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna put on that. I entertained some ideas here and there, but I ultimately don't know if I even want to do that, to be honest. Like, we took photos at like my cousin's like get together, and people are posting things, and the craziest thing is that like I didn't even look at them, because they're all on Instagram. I don't use Instagram, and I don't really know why, because I used to start posting there like often when I was like younger, and just got that account. I get it, but it's also like, I don't know. I have to find a way to incorporate it better. I think the way I take photos, it's more storytelling. It's not necessarily for an aesthetic. It's just to be able to recount all the stuff that happens and just retell it with people. So I kind of like that, like an album of sorts, a slideshow, if you will. Sorry, that was a side tangent. Monthly streaming events, music reactions. I kind of like that. Reactions to trailers. I like that. I said Mario Kart and equivalent events, so like multiplayer events, I would say. So that's kind of overlapping with the another thing. Positivity goal, better outlook on circumstances, better managed workflow. It's tough, you know. I think some people have like a level of positivity here and there. Some people don't. I typically have a pretty neutral outlook on things, but I like things to just be like nice and bubbly, you know. Oh, but also, not just to show your pics you took on like for IG, but also just post some funny clips you've seen on IG. Ah, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, like, they can be an extension, you know? I tried doing that before, and, man, I have to actually, like, lock in with that. Uh-oh. Sorry, I just went on Instagram and there was like a personal thing that showed up there. I was like, oh no, if I watch that right now, I'm gonna cry. That's just how bad it's gonna be. Put a caption next to it. Yeah. I mean, that totally works. Good ideas. Social media goal. I'll even write it down here and say that whatchamacallit, I will say clips can be used. There we go. Let's see. I'll have to elaborate a little bit more on that one, so stay tuned for that, I guess. But yeah, positivity goals is a great one because I think I just need a better outlook on things. The new one, doom scrolling, reduce it. Because it prevents good sleep, it prevents productivity. So right. God, I hate it. My gaming goals include finishing 10 games. That's about it. It's because I want to do like a top 10 type of thing. And trust me, we'll talk about that Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. And then trying new things. Shows, music, movies, and comics. That's what we got going on here. Alright guys. I think that's it. Because otherwise, I think your boy over here needs to log off and make sure I can try to get to bed on time. Try to. I know that the new update for Zenless Zone Zero is up, and as far as like the new characters, I kind of want to start pulling for that already. So, I can multitask. I can do that while I'm brushing my teeth. All right. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I'll start trying to incorporate these immediately, not just like next year, but you know, that's the whole goal. But yeah, I know that it's been kind of like a one-sided conversation as far as like the goals and everything like that. But you know, so Thursday evening, yes, Gigi, we'll do Walking Wake. We'll try and do both. I think I did Verizon quite a bit, so Walking Wake it is. Walking Wake it is. We'll just have a I mean, hell, maybe I could try to do like multitasking as far as like get two consoles to be like shown off here. It'd be kind of crazy. But yeah, guys, so I've talked about my stuff. If you guys are at all interested, I kind of wanted to hear what you guys might have in mind. Maybe some like explanations as to like why you have guys like or have things set up as your goals and whatnot. You don't have to. I won't force people to like start like unwinding their stuff to me, but it would be kind of cool to start sharing that. But we can do that like on another day for sure, following things up with things. But yeah, that's just an open invitation for everybody. The next time we'll go live is actually going to be Wednesday the 31st. It'll be a midnight thing. If no one can show up, understandable. I'm just gonna be over here. I'm gonna just be yapping about like the all the games I played through, and if I can rank them, if I can, you know. And then on Thursday, literally the day after that, will be evening stream, 7 p.m. Pacific time for everything, by the way. If I can make that time, that will be Pokemon, and we'll be just focusing on just doing collective raid battles when it comes to Walking Wake, Iron Leaves, that kind of thing. So yeah, and that's kind of the schedule so far. Typically we'll also have a Friday stream as well. I forget if we're gonna do anything. I'll hash things out and see if I have something. So all right, but now let's go ahead and call it here. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on all the platforms here, one at a time though. So TikTok, goodbye and take care, and I'll probably see you guys on Wednesday or Thursday, because I'll be multi-streaming everything. I gotta commit to that. But yeah, all right, take it easy everybody over there. Okay, so TikTok's done. Let me go ahead and call it off on YouTube side. YouTube, pretty much the same schedule. I guess also the same thing on Twitch as well. But all right, take care.